Face to Face, the program
that frontally discusses
political and social issues in Nigeria. The weekly program brought to you on Wednesday by 6 p.m. Nigerian time, anchored by Prince Ewemade Concourse, powered by GCSDN.
Join us.
Good evening to all our wonderful viewers all over the world, and welcome to Face to Face program. Today's segment is today's topic: why do Nigerians have to pay so much money for political party nomination form? I'm going to be joined in the studio by our brother Jesovi Agadagba. He's going to be joining me in the studio to discuss this topic. Why do Nigerians have to pay so much money for a political party nomination form? The APC governorship nomination form stands at 40 million naira, while the APC stands at 100 million naira. The one of the Labour Party stands at 25 million naira, but after so much noise and discussion between the aspirant and the National Working Committee of Labour Party in Nigeria, they decide to reduce it to 15 million, from 25 to 15 million naira. But many Nigerians are still of the opinion that 15 million naira is still too high for a party like Labour Party. So let me bring my brother to the studio so that we can discuss this program this evening. My brother, Jesovi, you are welcome to the program today. You are welcome to the program.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You are welcome to the program. You are live with us now.
Okay, thank you very much.
I understand that you are. I understand you are having problem with your video. That's fine. We can hear you, and
I'm having issues.
You can speak to our audience.
With my video.
You can greet our audience all over the world so they can introduce yourself as well.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. My name is Engineer Jesovi Agadagba. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and my brother and friend, it's really a privilege to speak to Africans, and particularly in this case, Nigerians, once again on this platform. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being a part of this program today. Why do Nigerians have to pay such a large amount of money for political party nomination? In my introduction, I just explained the different category of fee that various parties have set out for their governorship candidate. Many Nigerians are of the opinion, and also someone like me as well, believe that when people pay so much amount of money to participate or partake in any electoral process, first thing they will do when they are elected or as they assume office is to find a way to recover that money. Imagine somebody paying 100 million naira for a political form, just an intent form and a nomination form. The same thing goes for APC, PDP, which is 40 million naira. Labour Party is 25, but they reduce it to 15 million naira. And I think I have an article. Let me just show. I'm going to show our audience an article on that from the Labour Party. One of the former presidential aspirant, or the recent presidential aspirant, the person of Peter Gregory Obi. Let me just show that to our audience so they can also see. I'm going to share the screen with them so they can see exactly. Yeah. Seconds. Let me take that. I think there's virus on that. I think there's virus on that. Let me just go ahead and share the one for that shows. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll be able to see this one. Okay. This is the APC and president and the PDP presidential form for the both. I think our audience can see 2023 APC PDP nomination fee invitation for corruption, according to an activist, said it is an invitation for corruption. What is your take on this, my brother? Can you tell our viewers all over the world your take on the cost of nomination form between the three political party and most especially the Labour Party, which is a party that's for the masses, which many people believe that they are not supposed to be charging their candidate any fee because they've long been criticizing the PDP and the APC of doing the same thing over and over again. Here we are in 2023, and the governorship election is set for next year in 2024. And the case of Imo comes to mind, whereby Aspirant they've been charged 25 million naira for political party nomination form, and Labour Party should be able to lead by example, by even not charging anybody, just allow people to contest, and the best candidate will be nominated and put forward for the general election. What is your opinion on this?
Okay, firstly, public service is not an empowerment opportunity. It's an avenue for you to serve your people. So it's not an investment where you should come in after putting in so much resources and you will expect more. From the article you just showed now, it said that PDP and APC nomination form an invitation for corruption. And that is the bitter truth. Because you wouldn't expect a man after purchasing a form for 100 million naira not to go into the election with a mind of a do or die affair. The man going into the election after investing a whooping sum of 100 million naira would want to come out victorious because he needs to pay that money back. So any means of getting the victory to him is victory. So political parties pegging their forms at a very high rate at the invitation for political crisis that we have in the country. Now, let's focus on that of the Labour Party at this point. Labour Party came in as the game changer. What they placed on the table for Africans and Nigerians was that, okay, fine, we are to change the narratives. We are to make political offices unattractive. So by so doing, we would encourage the list of the people who really have the intention of serving the people get into power by the people voting them in. Now, how does the list of the people get into power? A man who cannot afford to purchase the form of 100 million naira won't be able to come out to represent his people, no matter how good his intentions are. Then, a man who is going to invest 100 million naira, he knows already what he is going to get. We look at the salaries of these political office holders. How much would this person even earn in the 4 years to have procured those form with this high amount? Labour Party came into Nigerians as the game changer. Now we're going to take the narrative for those people. Now they now pegging their own at the high 25 million naira, later changed to 15 million to meet. Even the 15 million is still on a very high side because an average Nigerian who wants to serve the people wouldn't even have that to invest. Now, this 15 million naira is for procuring the form. It is not all you would spend in the whole electoral process. You'll still be organizing your campaigns and funds will still be going into it. By the time we make this as an avenue for people to invest in candidates because a candidate may not have all the resources after spending 15 million from his savings. He may not have enough resources to be pumping into the campaign period. So he starts collecting from some of these political jobbers who we are trying to do away with in the system. And at the end of the day, we'll return back to where we are coming from, because he needs to settle them back, he needs to pay all of them, and a whole lot needs to go back to where he's getting his funds from. But Labour Party ought to ordinarily have made their form, if not free, almost free, at least to the barest, commonest man in the street can afford. I was very happy to hear a bus driver picking up the House of Representative nomination form under the Labour Party. If the form was 50, 80 million, the bus driver wouldn't have had this opportunity. An Okada rider in Kaduna picked up the House of Representative nomination form, and he was able to get into power. But if these people had pegged their money in the very high rate, these people would have gotten into power. So why changing the ball at the middle? Why changing the rules at the middle of the game when we are already at the middle of the game? You came in with a very good intention. So I think the forms, the fee for the forms in these places are just way too high, and it's really condemnable.
Thank you so much. Do you think, in your own opinion, do you think the high cost of nomination form is an invitation to corruption? Do you think, in your own opinion?
It's not just an invitation to corruption, but it's actually a confirmation that all these political parties are in support of corruption. They are normalizing corruption, because purchasing the form at that high cost, it's just a confirmation that, okay, fine, when you get into the office, you recover your funds. And how does this person recover his funds if he's going there to serve? So it's a support for corruption, not just an invitation, because an invitation is just saying that you are trying to make the person to be corrupt. But this time, you're even confirming it that, see, when you get there, you must be corrupt, because the guy will need to recover his money, and there is no way. It's a confirmation that we all are supporting corruption. And the same thing the Labour Party came in to fight against is the same thing they are now pushing out to the people.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the leadership of Labour Party. I would like to thank the leadership of Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abori, who is my brother and a very good friend, and also the National Working Committee for it worthy to reduce the price of the form from 5 to 15 million naira. However, 15 million naira is still on the very high side, considering that the Labour Party is a party for the masses. You do not expect someone, an Okada rider who was fortunate in some part of Nigeria to be elected as of representative member. You do not expect a Okada rider to pick up a governorship form for 15 million, or a bus driver, because the Labour Party that we all know is a party masses, irrespective of your status in the society. The Labour Party is for the masses. So if you are expecting people to pay 15 million naira for a form, then obviously you have another agenda. You are expecting people to go and borrow money to come and contest, and when they get in, they should load the money and pay back their loan. That is what it is. Let's be frank. So in my own opinion, and also the opinion of many Nigerians, 15 million naira is still on the very high side. I must be very frank with you. So I'm using this opportunity to call on the leadership of Labour Party in Nigeria to reassess and revisit their decision. 15 million naira is still on a very high side. We shouldn't act like the people in the party that we are condemning today. We are condemning APC, we are condemning PDP because of their stance and because of their mode over the last 24 years now. If we are to condemn them, then we must lead by example. This is the example that I want you, the Labour Party leadership, to lead by revisiting the nomination form fee. If you have done well, from 25 to 15 million naira, even Peter Gregory will be also applauded and commended you guys' effort for doing that. But however, 15 million naira is still on the high side because an Okada man, a market woman, a petty trader cannot afford to pay the party 15 million naira for them to get elected into that position. And in order for us to get good people that will vie for this position, we must reduce our nomination fee. Even though we have to charge anything, it should be free, in my own opinion. If, for example, I'm going to take the United States or UK that I live today as an example, you don't pay for nomination fee. You don't pay nomination fee in the US, in the UAE. You don't pay for it because you are coming to serve the people. In Italy, you don't pay for it. If you have certain amount of money in your account in Italy, they won't even allow you to run to become the prime minister. So if we want good people to be elected under the platform of Labour Party, we should not act like those that we are criticizing today. We should not act like them because that is what we are doing right now by trying to make money out of the aspirant in one way or on the other by charging an exorbitant fee. 15 million, Okada man cannot afford to pay 15 million naira. The only reason those people that got in, that rode into power now, the House of Rep, House of Senate, I'm sure they didn't pay this amount of money. I'm sure. And Okada man cannot afford, even if you set it for 5 million naira for House of Rep, they cannot afford it. So I am using this medium to once again beg the leadership to revisit their decision and reduce the money. If you have to charge something, let it be reasonable. That is the only way men of goodwill, men of good character, men of caution, people who are ready and willing to sacrifice for their nation will come forward to contest. In absence of this, I'm sorry, you are going to be acting the same way the PDP and the APC have been acting all these years. You are going to be electing looters and people that will come in and start buying property all over the world. That is not what we want. We want men of goodwill, men of good conscience, men who have the intellect, who have the capacity to transform our state into a mega city. That is what we want. So, my brother, you were going to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, please. You have the floor.
One more thing that we must also note at this point is the cost of nomination forms is going to be narrowing the chances of the Labour Party in winning an election. The reason is this: if I already know that this man that is coming in has spent almost the same thing the PDP and the Labour Party spent in procuring their nomination for, I won't have any reason voting for him because I know he's already coming there to steal. But if I had known that, okay, fine, this platform is just there to serve the people, their chances of winning an election would increase. You can't tell me a man who is paying 100 million would have the same chance as would have the same love from the heart of the people as a man who got the ticket on a platter. The support Peter Obi had from the masses in this election, I can tell you it is not because of the money he has, but because they feel that he has a different thing to present. In fact, one of the key things that was selling him is that word, I know they give Chichi. Because people were not saying that fine. He's not going to have any excuse to give to Nigerians that the reason why he did not perform is because he has spent so much. So you are saying that you are not going to give money. It means that you have no loans to pay back. You have no debt from this election. So you have no excuse to give to us for not performing. Now, this thing is going to be, I don't know. Let me give you a quick example of what is happening in the Kenya. I have to quickly cite this. Now, in the Kenya during the last election, the vice president, the former vice president, who is now the vice president, William Ruto, who is now the president, said the reason why the economy of Kenya is not moving forward is because of President Uhuru Kenyatta, then now former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and his deputy, his candidate, who was the opposition leader, Raila Odinga. Now, after coming into power, he's changing the story again, telling the people that the reason why the economy is not moving forward is because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. And that was the same thing Uhuru Kenyatta was telling the Kenyans. Now the people are out there in the streets revolting that this wasn't what you told us as at the time we were voting for you. And the opposition is using that as an avenue to cause, to create a narrative, to cause, to create a narrative, to cause, 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 political instability, saying that everybody must come out and say the president must go, president must step down, the elections were marred with irregularities and lies. So what I am saying is, if we must maintain what we have told the people as a party, if Labour Party must get the confidence of the people, they must stand by their word that they told Nigerians from the beginning. I permit me to use Africa because whatever you are telling Nigeria is what you are telling Africa, and the change in Nigerian political system is a new birth of the democracy in Africa generally, because Nigeria is the giant of Africa, the most populous nation in Africa, and by so, whatever happens to Nigeria have a very long way in changing the demography of Africa. So what they told Nigerians and Africans at large was that, okay, fine, we are coming with a different narrative, not the usual game. So giving them this same thing that people are doing is more like changing the rules in the middle of the game. And I do not think is actually the best idea. Yes, they have done a lot by reducing the nomination fee from 25 million to 15 million. But sincerely, 15 million is still on the extremely high side, not just a high side, extremely high side. And it is not what an Okada rider would be able to afford. It is not what a bus driver would be able to afford. It is not what the normal school teacher would be able to afford. Elections are meant for people who are coming into public space to serve, not people who are already having multi-millions in their account or having people who can give them multi-millions, because nobody is going to give you anything without expecting anything in return. So if a man is going to give you 15 million, say, okay, you are a good man, you are an Okada rider, yes, you are a good man, you are going to purchase this form of 15 million. Here is 15 million. At the end of the day, this Okada rider gets into power. He must be loyal to the man that is giving him 15 million. So political godfatherism will still continue. Nothing would change. The same thing you criticize the PDP and the APC for is the same thing that will still happen in Labour Party if this cost of nomination forms are not properly reviewed to favor the least man in the society.
Thank you so much, my brother, for that wonderful, talk. Because if we are to criticize others for their inefficiency, their failure, their corrupt practices, and what have you, we should be able to lead by example. This is Labour Party that before Peter Obi came into power has not been able to feature a presidential candidate. This is Labour Party that doesn't even have a senator, House of Rep member. The last time we had a governor on that Labour platform was Governor Mimiko of Ondo State. That was the last man that we had before it decamped to, I think, PDP or APC then. If we are to elect credible men, men of goodwill, men of character, men of conscience, the righteous one, we must be able to lead by example. You cannot expect me to pay 15 million naira as a candidate vying to become a governor of my own state, Edo State. Then tomorrow you expect me to come and deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. It is absolutely not possible, because I'm taking that 15 million naira from somewhere. Let's say, for example, I don't have it. I have to borrow from somebody, and you expect me to come and work. That's not possible. It's the same thing the PDP and PPCL, they've been doing for so many years. Somebody will go and invest 100 million naira, take 100 million naira from the bank. When I win, I'll pay it back. Where is he going to get the 100 million? It's the salary of a governor. Is he up to 100 million naira? No, it's not up to 100 million naira. So where are they going to get that money to pay back? That is the question that Nigerians of like mind, those who have conscience, those who believe in equity, fairness, and justice, those are the questions they are asking. So my brother, engineer Jusovie, as a Africanist, I know you very well. You are one of the strong members of the Pan-African movement. Do you think, in your own opinion, that when these people that come dish out this money to pick up the nomination form, when they get into power, they are not going to steal, in your own opinion, and from your own experience?
Well, I actually believe that nobody would invest in a business and not expect a return. If what you are investing is money, what you should expect in return is more money. If what you are investing is your character, what you would expect in return is an improvement in your character. If what you are investing is integrity, would you expect a return of integrity? So if political parties are pegging their nomination forms at money, these people who would procure the form, they should steal ordinarily. So it's just a way of saying, instead of calling it nomination form, we should be calling it corruption form. Because if you are procuring a form that is not based on integrity and merit, then you cannot deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. So whoever is going to procure these forms at this very high rate, my brother, in this case, if you are coming out with 100 million naira to procure a governorship form under any political party, sincerely speaking, I would be afraid supporting you. I would be afraid going to the streets to tell people that, I know Prince Ewemade very well and he's going to deliver. Because I know that he has taken 100 million naira from somewhere and he needs to pay back, and nobody invests and not get a return. But if I am aware that, okay, fine, he's getting this nomination form on a platter of gold, he's getting it because of his integrity, because of his antecedents, because of his character, then I should tell people that, yes, Prince Ewemade, I know, would not compromise for this. But if at the beginning of the race, he has already collected 100 million naira to invest somewhere, then it would no longer be the Prince Ewemade I know. Same applies to every other person out there. Whoever is going to invest the whopping sum of 100 million naira, 40 million naira, 25 million or 15 million, as the case may be in the Labour Party now, in this nomination form may not be the people we know them to be before they get into power, because other things may have influenced them. The monies they have gotten, we do not know where the monies are coming from, and we do not even know the conditions attached to these monies. Somebody may have given you the money and say, oh, my brother, before you go into power, I'm giving you 100 million, but all the contracts of road in the whole of Anambra State, Imo State, Taraba State, you give them to me. And at the end of the day, you sign the agreement with the man. So even if the guy is not doing the job, well, you cannot prosecute him. But if you had come in without collecting the money from that guy, you wouldn't even give him the contract in the first place. So the way you would deliver the dividends of democracy to the people would be outrightly different. So to your question, yes, I think that the people who are purchasing these forms in with this high rate, I think they won't perform.
Thank you so much. Many people will probably come out to defend the party for charging 15 million naira, 25 million naira, thereafter reducing it to 15 million naira, because they would say Labour Party does not have money. Yes, that is true. We all know that Labour Party does not have money. They don't have anybody financing them. It's a party for the masses, a party for the grassroots, and the average worker, the petty trader. That's the definition of the Labour Party. That's the movement as a people. So people will come out to defend it, that they need the money and all that. But I'm also aware that there are monthly dues, that membership. Like, for example, I'm a registered member of Labour Party here in the UK. Okay, and every month you pay a fee, a monthly fee, which is your membership fee. That is where the party raise money. That is where the party raise money from. Even if, let's say, for example, people are paying 100 naira per month as their monthly due, as the case may be. But the case of Labour Party, I'm aware the membership form in Nigeria is 500 naira, is pegged at 500 naira per month, because I just renew my membership card back home. This should be the avenue where the party should be generating income, not from political party, not from party nomination form. Because when you demand more from the aspirant, you shouldn't expect them to deliver. That is a fair play. You don't expect me to pay 15 million naira to borrow 15 million naira today and tomorrow you expect me to deliver. It's not possible. You are automatically telling me, you are sending me to go and steal. That's my opinion.
That's it.
So I want to also, go ahead, please.
That's just it. Because borrowing money to come and invest is a clear invitation that go and steal. Is a message they're sending you out there. Go and steal and recover and pay. Because at the end of the day, if you get into power and you are unable to pay those debts back, the party will not come and say, you have won now. Now that you are unable to pay the debt, we'll help you and pay the debt back. Nobody would help you and pay the debt back. So candidates, I think, aspirants especially, I think the parties should encourage them. Yes, saying Labour Party doesn't have money and all of that. In all sincerity, yes, they don't have money. But the name they have made in this 2023 election, if they must maintain that name, they must continue to push out people with integrity. If they don't keep pushing out people with integrity, the little name they have made will go down the drain. Labour Party wasn't the only party in Nigeria outside PDP and APC. The only reason why they had the name they had is because they had somebody who the people saw as, okay, fine, this person has integrity. And that is the only way they can maintain it. If they start bringing political jobbers into the game, the name they have been able to make for themselves is going down the drain.
Are you also aware there's a party called AAC, which is formed by our brother Moyele Sowore? That party during the last election gave out form for free. Their form were for free. It was free. That is what people expect of Labour Party of today. Labour Party should be the last political party to be seen as extorting money from a candidate, considering the reputation of the principal, the principal, Peter Gregory Obi. What is your take on this, my brother?
Ordinarily, I still see no reason why they are even charging members of the party, people who are already registered members of the party, this high for funds. Now, Peter Obi came with the slogan, I know they give chichi. That's only that word won millions of votes to the Labour Party. Only the word, I know they give chichi. So even when people were saying he doesn't have the money to run the election, they were standing on that. So if Labour Party is now going away from it, they are only telling us that Nigerians were making a mistake voting them in the last election. So those people that supported them were already making the mistake that these people were like chameleon. They changed to the people's color at the first point, trying to get into power. And when they had gotten into power, they would have changed the tone of their music after getting into power. This time, as of today, they were not. Labour Party wasn't announced as the winner of the election. Yet they are already changing the game. What if they had been announced the winner and this happened? Nigerians would have gotten back to square one, where we are coming from. Would have started battling again with, what is happening with Labour Party? Why have they changed the story? Why has this? This time we won't do it, we won't take it, and all of that. But I think if they must maintain what they have started, they really, really need to do away with this nomination form fee. That's my take.
Thank you so much. Our audience all over the world, we have almost come to the end of to this segment. My brother engineer Jesuvi, can we have your closing statement, please?
Well, in all, we've said a whole lot, and I just want to use this medium to make an appeal to the leadership of the Labour Party, the National Working Committee of the Labour Party, to look into the nomination fee of the Labour Party. I also want to call on the leadership of other political parties to look into their nomination fees. This time around, not just the Labour Party. Let all the parties bring out candidates with integrity. Let them bring out candidates with character, candidates that we can say, okay, fine, we are choosing the better of two goods and not the lesser of two evil. political parties come out making their nomination forms free. I mean, we already have a very high budget for INEC, so it is not this nomination fee we are using as a cost of running our election. So let us have candidates with integrity, candidates who walk to the poll, and we can boldly tell you that yes, we the people put you there, and you should do our will, not the will of a godfather who has given you millions to procure your form, who has helped you through the back door to get your party nomination and all of that. So I think the National Working Committee of all political parties, not just Labour Party, to look into their cost of nomination form and look into the characters of their aspirants, then give to Nigerians the best brains they have, the best people with capacity. Let them give us people with capacity and the ability to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. People with experience in governance, people with experience, technocrats in various walks of life should handle sensitive political offices, and not people who have fat pockets but no experience, fat pockets but no will of the people at heart. I think that's all I have.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for creating the opportunity to speak with me and speak with our audience today. I would also love to bring you back maybe some other time so we can discuss other program that has to do with the Pan-Africa, Nigeria, and the whole of the Africa continent. My wonderful audience, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for always being part of this program. And I want to personally appeal to the leadership of Labour Party in Nigeria, especially my dear brother, my friend, Comrade Julius, Barrister Julius Abure. Also, it's also a comrade because he's a rugged and a dogged fighter. He has always been. That's the kind of the person I know him to be. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to him, appeal to his conscience, and also to the conscience of the National Working Committee of Labour Party in Nigeria. If we are to do something different, if we are to differentiate ourselves from the old cabal, from those who have held Nigeria hostage, we must lead by example. We must be able to change the narrative. You and I know that the common man on the street will not be able to afford 15 million naira to run as the governor of Edo State. And maybe that person has good intention to serve his people. If you block the avenue for those who have the good conscience, the mind, and the ability to lead and serve their people well, then you are also creating an enabling opportunity for those that wish to come in and load our treasury dry. So I want to, on this note, appeal to your conscience one more time. Have a review, rethink and have a review of this decision. If you are to charge anyone to vie for the highest position in our land, Edo State or Imo State or any other state, please review it and let it be at the bare minimum that even the Okada rider, the carpenter, these are the people, the foundation upon which Labour Party was formed. You and I know that. If they are to come in and contest, it should be affordable for them. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Until next week, I hope to see you again, my brother. Thank you for being part of this program today. And stay blessed.